Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I feel like I even got up a little early this morning to get down here. Sorry that I'm running late. Oh well. Hey Joe, good morning. It only late if you don't show. I suppose you might be right. It still feels late. Anyway, happy Monday, I guess. Happy Monday. Boo, Monday. Yeah. Feel the same way. Try something here real quickly. That's a little better. It's brightening my screen a little bit. Started to wash out. Yeah, white details are washing out on my end, but at least I can see things a little bit more clearly. Not the highest quality screen, but then that's okay. I don't feel like I had to work yesterday to water flowers. For your job or otherwise for the community? Job, which is the community. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. We're sort of, I didn't have work to do, but similar kind of thing, Joe. I'm sorry to hear that, first of all, but sort of in the same thing. We had breakfast yesterday. I think by 11:30, maybe a little earlier than that, we were on the road heading down to Connecticut to drop off my daughter's godparents in Bridgeport so they could take the ferry to Long Island. And that was like, by the time we went to visit my daughter's future school, Quinnipiac, and then we drove down to Bridgeport, dropped them off, and then headed back and ran into a lot of traffic. We didn't get home until after 5:30. So kind of like it just didn't feel like a restful day. But what are you gonna do? Ooh, made breakfast yesterday for everyone. Pancakes, hash browns, and sausage patties. Nice. Poison Sumac is acting up this morning. Joe, is it getting any better? Wow, I gotta tell you, that's unfortunate, man. I'm really sorry. By now, you'd think it'd be clearing up a bit. You're hoping it'd be clearing up a bit. It's got some log cabin real maple syrup, which was cheaper than the fake shit. Really? You got log? It's really. It's real maple syrup. Wow. As opposed to like a real syrup. Interesting. Yeah, real maple syrup is like the bomb. Fuck me, how expensive it is, but still. Okay. Just doing some cleanup this morning to get everything kind of prepped. We're getting awfully close to getting this thing ready for primer. have a I was talking to my wife last night, who's going to be heading back later today. She'll be back this weekend as we've got my daughter's dance recital, one of her final performative things for the studio that she's been with for 8 years, 7 years. I was just talking with her last night about just, like we were just saying, Joe, just the lack of feeling rested, and then just, the reasons for it. And the other part is the lack of motivation for wanting to go to work. I remember when I used to, and hey, I'm one of those guys. I like to work. Never had a problem with working. Let's do that. Big stuff, $3. Log cabin, formica, sodium, bromide, and bunch chemicals. Where the other sugar? Yuck. There we go. But just had a day yesterday where we're just talking as we're driving back about just our lack of motivation. Going into the office, and I don't have a problem with working. Never have had a problem with working. But I'm just not feeling motivated to go in. Just things are slowing down, which is not a surprise this time of year. Things start to slow down a wee bit. And then just go there, and it's like, I don't know. It's like bash heads against the wall. It's getting tiring. All right, what do we got there? That's looking square enough. Here we go. Okay. Let's get into this into this area. I got a little bit of an angle here to clean up. I may have to actually scrape some of this stuff away. We shall see. We shall see. Back we will. So, just doing cleanup today on this thing. I really want to get this thing done, and not because I'm not enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying this model quite a bit. I may work on the second one. We'll see. Get 2 of these things done, prepped, ready to go. And again, maybe I'll just do something else. So I do have to start on my animal theme build. Our Patriot Club theme for the year. I'd actually like to participate in that. Okay, almost there. I think I'm just going to really. Are they going to see this? Let me take a look. How much of this are they going to actually see? Get that on there. Yeah, they're going to see enough of it. Hey, Peter. Good morning. How are you? Ray, what's up, man? Hope everybody had a good Sunday. Sorry, guys. And I apologize. This one continues to linger for a bit. Hey, Nick. Good morning. I went to Costco twice. I'm barely alive. Nice. Why barely alive? Because we're going to Costco. You all had a good Sunday? As I was saying to Joe earlier, not at my effervescent best this morning. A little tired. Not looking forward to going to the office, but that's what it is. We'll figure it out. We got clothes and had to exchange some sizes that got sucked into their seasonal stuff. Got a new pop-up tempo. Nice. I am truly hoping we get one of those things to open near us sooner rather than later. Peter, right, Nick? I'm a sucker for inexpensive work pants. Yeah, I get it. Right. Yuck. Yuck. Let's scrape away some of that garbage. Obviously, this got a little clumpy. As we got in towards this area, so I'm just going to scrape it away or chip it away. House construction Japanese jeans, handmade. We need to mail Joe some real syrup. We do. Can you afford real syrup? Having said that, yeah. I mean, all right, let's get this. For Joe, I'll manage. Nice. Hey, Richie, good morning. How are you, brother? I am close closer to Canada than you are. Likely true. Fine, get your own damn syrup then. He is in Costco and Madhouse all the time, at least where I'm from. No, it's Monday. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling, Richie. It's Monday. By the way, what's going on, E? Welcome. I've been to a Costco in many, many years. I haven't lived near one in many, many, many years. We had a competitor of theirs, a local competitor, which had a place in the town that I lived in, here in Worcester. And then they shut it down. It's a good word, Richie. How was your weekend? How's everybody's weekend? How's everybody's Sunday? Oh, it's Monday misery. Am I in a Garfield comic? Kind of feels like it. Dude, I gotta tell you. As I was saying right at the beginning, you might not have been on, right? I don't have a problem working or going in the office. It's just been so demoralizing recently that it's just, and Mondays are the days we kind of meet as a team, and the owner decides he wants to be there as opposed to God knows what the fuck he wants to do. Anyway, just trying to figure shit out. I don't know if you heard about it. Kroger had the fake stuff. Says the good stuff, so I did some pure maple syrup. Nice. The jet lag is beating my ass. Where were you flying from, E? It was calm. I did some gaming and just done prepping another project. Nice. And got done prepping other projects. Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this project kind of wrapped up and into primer soon. I will likely not put it on sticks this time. I'm going to leave it in a little container here, ready to prime, because I need to get other stuff off of my bench up top there. Primarily what's up there right now is the little SD Gundam. I'm sorry, the SD Macross kit, the VF1. Isn't there an embargo on Canadian syrup? Could be. Why would you ever want to buy Canadian syrup? American syrup is so much better. Trees on this side of the border are better than trees on that side of the border. Malaysia to Massachusetts. Oh, you flew to Massachusetts? Huh. What part of Massachusetts are you in? Also, no embargo needed. Yep. Just put in for the 4th, July 3rd off, July 2nd half day mini vacation. Nice. Any plans for what you're going to do? Our plan remains that we are going to be going down to Maryland. Those plans almost changed, but they didn't. Family coming by me the project by the 4th, but I want to sleep and catch up on my projects. Nice. I had the country's biggest Subaru meet in Tennessee, so we couldn't do anything downtown without getting stuck behind a bunch of foresters. Huh, okay. That could suck. Yeah, we were stuck. As I was saying at the beginning, we're stuck in traffic coming back from Connecticut. Ugh, what misery that was. Yesterday was not as restful a day as I would have liked, but that's okay. Well, some days you get the bear, some days the bear gets you. Just thinking about this week, I've got a regional Zoom meeting with our IPMS, uh, other chapters in our IPMS region. Curious to see how that's going to go. I'm sure it'll go well. It usually does. Usually. Okay. I think I'm pretty close to being done on this thing. The next thing is just knowing how much, once primer's on here, to see how much more clear cleaning up this might need. I'm going to do a quick assembly on the shoulder in a moment. The left arm, I'm sorry, the right arm, see how it looks. In the meantime, let's get some of this stuff here sanded. I forgot to do this bit of cleanup. The gap is almost completely filled in, which I like. He's being quiet again. Liking the way a lot of this has come out. Go hit a coffee going. I don't really have much to say today. Kind of quiet, you know. The week's about to begin. I'm sure there'll be some lunacy in the world. You know, kind of like the lunacy that's happening in California right now. I'm looking to do a Thursday thing. I'm just saying, the world is blowing up. Bit of an REM song. There we go. Corporal Ross had tours happening over here Thursday. Yeah. How much stuff do you still have to do to prep for that, Joe? I may, as soon as we get this thing to a good place, I may blue tack it all together just to see how it all looks in its standing pose, which I'm kind of excited about. And I may bring this in, if I get it done soon enough, I may bring it into our Patriot meeting. And then hearing about the Cerulean project and You know, you can do any color from the past. Who knows? Maybe I'll do this one. Maybe I'll do it. And they dropped everything. They dropped the bag on me. I got my spin. I got my orange brush. Yeah, kind of like that. Not that song specifically. Unfortunately, you can't sing the song. But so yesterday, I finally had an opportunity to take a look at some of the photos that Wayne sent me a link to his, I guess his Google Drive or Dropbox or something. But either way, from Wonderfest, I got to tell you, ooh, man, there was some serious firepower there. Just between, first of all, the number of Star Trek models on display was great, but also just the workmanship on some of the stuff there, the figures, the other sci-fi models. You know, I have to tell you, it's one of the things I do appreciate about sci-fi over armor or planes is there's so much creativity that comes about, right? You just see all that creativity. Now, you know, obviously, you know, when you do a Predator, there's going to be some standard things to how a Predator looks, or, you know, a xenomorph from Alien or what have you, or the Enterprise. You're not going to, I guess you could, and if you wanted to, you should. But you're not going to see like a green Enterprise or, you know, a fuchsia Enterprise. But just to see a lot of that stuff was pretty cool. I will always say that I think the category that always interests me the most when I go to a show, I guess it's figures, you know. It's because you're applying paint onto a three-dimensional surface, and when you do it really well, it looks you would phosphor painting, yeah. Have you finished Lower Decks? I have not yet. GB, good evening. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. I've not gotten back to daughter and I are going to finish Deep Space Nine and then probably finish Lower Decks this summer now that my younger daughter is done with high school before she goes to college. But but yeah, Boston does it. Yes, correct. However, the point, and that's why I brought up pink for salmon. But my point of it all is that seeing figures painted in such a wonderful way. I always feel like I'm literally walking through more of a museum gallery than I am walking, you know, in a model show. Most models, it feels like it's a model show, especially when you see armor and planes. And guys, this isn't a vilification of it. I love armor. I think it's great. But when you see a bunch of green, khaki stuff, or no offense, I can't deal with swastikas right now. In fact, there was a model that I'll get to that in a second at Wonderfest that I'm going to ask Dwayne about when I talk to him next. You need to finish your missing out on. I know. Well, Joe, the only thing I can say is, like, here's the thing. There's so much good television out there. It's just a matter of catching up on all of it. And, you know, and for me, it's also a matter of making sure that, you know, when family's here, we do family stuff. And I've also gotten into watching the Kaminsky Method recently on Netflix, and that's really like evenings. That's been taking up some of that, but it will get watched at some point. Guaranteed. So, I love armor, but there's only so much of that stuff you can see. Whereas when you take a look at things like figure painting, and you can actually look and see how, like, I was looking at some of the photos that Dwayne posted, like skin textures. Like, I can't do that. I don't have that skill. And it's not only that I don't have that skill, I'm not sure I want to go down that route that far, but I love seeing it. You know, it's you know, painting and finishing. It's figure painting. Figures are more about the painting and the finish. And that's what I've always enjoyed about seeing that stuff. Because it's not my forte. That to me is truly being artistic. Let's get some surfacer on. I get some surfacer on. Actually, before I do that, let's do a little bit of an assembly. Later, Nick. Have a good one, brother. Enjoy your day. Artist oils for skin tones. Here's the thing, Ray. I'm not disagreeing with you, but me applying artist oils to skin isn't going to make me Michelangelo or take your pick. Whatever artist is out there, Sargent. It's not. So when I see it done extremely well, when you look at it and it's just like it's fabulous. That's what I'm saying. It's like there are people who do scale modeling, and they are genuine artists. They're legit artists. I pretend to be. I try, and I dabble in it, and I think I do really, really well. But there are people who it's like, wow, I really enjoy your work. I keep coming back to, I think her name was Kelsey again last year with her little miniature figurines and the painting work that she did on those things. If she did that in 2 dimensions, it would have been fabulous. To see it done in 3 is unreal. So, okay, let's get some blue tack. What do I do with my big goober? Here we go. Goober's a blue tack. Let's do some assembly. That's one thing I forgot to get into. I got to get inside there, or I could scribe that line. Either way, got to do something with getting that fixed. Okay. Grind back on some of this. But yeah, the stuff that I saw there was absolutely incredible. I enjoy seeing really, really good work. And stuff that I'm generally, it's not my forte. Did you say she was going to do a painting demo? We've asked, or at least Mason has asked, and I think as we're starting to put together a, to do, people we're going to reach out to for painting, she's certainly on my list. But I believe Mason broached the issue with her, but I'm not sure we've heard back yet on whether she will or will not. And I get it. There are people who do and are not very good at teaching or conveying, and that's not a criticism. It's just basically it's fact. Just because you do doesn't mean you can teach. Without getting into the world of my own job, that's kind of what we have with the owner of our company. He's a remarkably talented technician, but can't teach to save his fucking life. Okay, there we go. Almost there. In fact, let me board that out a bit. Almost there. There we go. One of the things I do like about these older models versus the newer model, the neck itself is large, as opposed to, because you want to have all the giggity goo, as Maka Gaikotsu likes to say, it's that all of that neck stuff is so thin, it just doesn't look real. You make it so much like a toy that it takes away from the actual aesthetic. Like there's not a lot of movement on this thing. It's like literally that's it, and that's fine. If I wanted to do anything more, I would do something more. But I like the fact that it's a pretty thick neck. I like that the fact that it sits pretty low to the shoulders. I think aesthetically that looks really good. Okay, we got that on. Let's get some coffee going. Actually, let's get the legs slapped on. So far, so good. I do really like the way that hand and rifle thing came out. That's great. Oops. The rifle off of there. I may do. Oh, yeah, no, I forgot to do. Yeah, see, forgot to do the gap filling in there, and I'm also going to do a little bit right on the top there. Just a smidge right on the top. In fact, let's do that. Sorry. Assembly gets a set aside. Sip. Okay. Bread tab. 9 mil, which this thing should still be set up for. Excellent. Missed my finger. There we go. Perfect. Why didn't Trump call the National Guard on January 6th? Oh, that's a mighty fine question now, isn't it? Yeah. We will table that one for Thursday. We'll table that one for Thursday. Why didn't he? Yeah, why didn't he? Yeah. Dude, what's going on? Welcome. Good morning, by the way. Yeah, good morning. What's going on, man? Excuse me. I'm just trying to get this piece aligned. We're going to hit it with a little bit more than cement. What's going on with you? just about 5 minutes before I got to get going. Yeah, now that my daughter is all graduated, I no longer have to rush. Let me actually do a little bit of putty filling there. I'll try something. Well, we're law and order unless you're Capitol Police. Yeah. What's going on in Los Angeles right now is it's surreal. Let's start with that. But it doesn't surprise. I think this is part of the plan. Anybody remember the Battlestar Galactica remake? I think it started losing a little bit of its process as where it was going to go. But I think there was the whole intro that said, the Cylons, they have a plan. Well, this is kind of what I feel like. I'd like to think that the current regime is kind of like they got a plan, and this is part of their plan. This is part of their plan. They're doing this to incite. That's unfortunate, because all it's going to do is going to lead to a lot of devastation. All right, that piece is now in. Push it down here just a smidge. There we go. Gonna leave it like that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little bit between this red part that's sticking out and the white. Gonna add a little bit of a fillet, whatever you want to call it, just to give it a little bit more of a curvature. And I'm gonna probably just do it with a little black CA. I could do putty, I could do something else, but what I'm looking for is actually just something that will just create a little bit of a fillet. Let's pop this thing. There we go. A little bit of drop. Oh, I should stay down here today. I really do. I wish today's like that day. I wish I could just stay at the bench. But unfortunately, you just gotta get ready to leave in about an hour. Get to the orifice. There we go. Spread it around a little bit. Just to create a little bit of a fillet. There we go. And that'll look nice when it's all done. I'm watching my cat be stupid, at least in an endearing way today. That's nice. I love endearing stupid cats. In many ways, it's their saving grace. Actually, I'm going to leave it like that. Nope, I'm going to wipe it away a little bit. There we go. Put a little bit more in there. Wipe it away. Let that tack for a second, and then I'm going to wipe away the extra. Just suck it away, actually. I'm trying to get in a box much too small for it to fit in. Yeah. I love cats when they do stuff like that. Let's wick some of this shit away. And we're good. We're done. Now, okay, there we go. Leave it just like that. Until tomorrow. All right, friends, time for me to get rolling here so I can begin my miserable day of work. Hopefully it'll be better than that. Keeping fingers crossed. Everybody, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I do appreciate it. Go out there and do good. Do what you can. Make it a better planet, because it is a really crazy, whack planet. Kind of like Dr. Who was just saying, it is just not a good place. My garden is finally planted. Nice, Ken. First of all, hi and bye. But go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can, because it is just not a great place right now. It's up to us to brighten it as much as we possibly can. Anyway, do good. Enjoy the day. Love you all. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.